let me be absolutely 100% clear about this. I have no idea when I am talking about when I play these clips. This is my understanding of this, okay? This is my understanding about this broad strokes. There is a guy on YouTube called Synthetic Man, and it is my understanding that Synthetic Man is a wholesome heckin' chutterino that a lot of people like. However, he seems to have done something to upset his community. This thread, which is the Synthetic Man Appreciation thread in multimedia, so it's not a Lolcow thread, has seen dozens of people join in the last week or two to talk about him. And even though I'm like manually approving all their posts because they're new users and we have a filter, I have no idea what's going on. Here is my understanding. Synth is like an anti-person. He's like trad, chudley, and that's why he has a fan base. He recently interviewed Sven Stoffels, and the topic of the Kiwi Farms came up from what someone has told me. I had not seen it myself. And someone actually asked me to get in touch with him to do an interview, which right now, because of his situation, I'm not leaning towards doing. So here's what I get is that he has an audience that is like pro anime, pro free speech, and I think that he's anti-anime himself. And I'll read the chat because I actually don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going off of notes. For some reason, he recently did like a turn on the anime question, and this has upset a great number of his own viewers. Okay, he's not anti. Okay, I got that wrong. He is not a self-proclaimed con, but his audience is cons. He made the argument that art shouldn't be illegal, and so he's made a pro free speech defense, which includes con as a general libertarian thing. He also made a video, and I think this is the actual point of contention. He made a video talking about how people who are anti-con are in fact the real, because they're so obsessed and they're seeing little kids in cartoons, and that's indicative of mental illness, which is a very like that. That's like the typical con thing. He is, but okay, so he's personally, but he's like a Lolbert. Okay, I got you. Someone posted this in the stream in 4chan.
Maybe you shouldn't call kids the English word for candy, lies, if you don't want the art of kids' forms in lewdness to be rightfully mocked as well as you for the that you are. Listen, I've already given my take on this. It's pretty neutral because I think it is, as much as I hate to side with leftists on certain shit, the saying a drawing of what
wait
is
Cody.
Yes.
Stop. Let's upgrade our shit right now.
This dude, what a hero. He's like, wait a second, this guy I'm streaming with, bro, gear check. Can we get a gear check? We have to check our gear real quick, bro. Come on, settle down real quick. We gotta check the gear, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, continue on. Just
there is a grain.
Never mind. Keep making your mistake. Keep making that mistake, sir.
Truth to this, but I feel like the argument, the type of thing is, it's a complicated argument because on the one hand, it depends on if you're trying to argue from a perspective of should you make drawings illegal, which is an extremely huge slippery slope.
Kobe,
you'd have to
I'm gonna you right there. I think you should stop talking about this.
No.
Never mind. He was in control the entire time.
That is important.
I think you should stop. I'm gonna be complete. I think you should stop.
You're a coward, Thomas.
I'm not a coward. I'm trying to save you. You don't need
There's
this
nothing
online
to save.
There are
What's his name?
I'm not a coward. I think you should stop. I'm gonna be complete. I think you should stop.
I know, because you're a coward, Thomas.
Davis? Davis? That's a weird name. Davis.
I'm not a coward. I'm trying to save you. You don't need
There's
this
nothing
online
to save.
There are certain things you don't need to talk about online.
Okay.
Con is something you probably just don't need to talk about online.
Well, let me just tell you, a shit ton of people have already. And unfortunately, it's related to my line of work. Just read the chat.
One of us has been drinking a bottle of wine. The other one's completely sober. So let's think about that, okay? You should not talk about this.
I feel like this is gonna be something. This is a problem. Like, the chat is not one person, obviously, because I always see whenever the subject comes up, there's debates in chat. But it's one of those things where the people who are the most vehemently against are always actual, which should tell you something.
10 years ago, thousands of years ago, during the Great Gamergate War, there was a Kotaku editor named Mr. Pizza who made a tweet about how Khan is and then was arrested for having child. Thousands of years later, in current day, cons will constantly bring this up to say people who are anti-con are the real, because just look at Mr. Pizza. I have made this point again or before, and I'll make it again. If an actual is looking at the shit you off to and say, that's, I will take his expert opinion on it. If he is somebody who actively collects and produces child, and then he looks at your drawings and says, yeah, that's, I have a feeling he has a point. I don't know why this is brought up as a point against people, because I don't think it says what you think it does. He's also played con games on stream. I don't know if that's true. Apparently one of his mods is an open con, and he doesn't ban cons from his community, which is why he gets brigaded by people who are anti-con. That's why the thread's so shit. And then here's the issue, okay? Because he's very chudly, and because he is pro-libertarian con, right? He his audience is very anti-whammon. So I think, from my understanding, is that he has a very anti anime stance in general, but then for some reason he did a stream with Kersha, who is a I guess I would say a medium-sized VTuber. She's not like corporate, but she's not small either. She gets like 1,000 to 2,000 viewers, from my understanding. And she's kind of like Chud aligned. She's probably one of the most aware people in regards to the forum. And so he had her on to talk, and then his audience got really pissed off at him because he had a woman on stream, and he had a VTuber on stream. So it was like his audience that didn't like anime was upset at this, and his audience that doesn't like women is upset at this because she's actually like 30, I think. I want to say she's like a 30-year-old woman. So it's like, that's a hag. That's not a heckin' base. So people got upset at that. And then there is a clip that I can play for this. So let's see. April 3rd and May 8th.
Higher than food. Not shocking. Actually, this is part of why Kiwi Farms is mad at me, too. Do you know Kiwi Farms unironically wants me to ban all of the cons to my audience? It's like, are you guys retarded?
I do it. It's called the third rail. Like, I'm not like the thought police. I can't control what you do or what you're into. But if you come out and you just flat out say that you're like off to con, like, I just have to ban you. That's the third rail, bro.
Do you know how much money that those people probably given me? Like, I'm gonna ban potentially a third of my live stream audience.
That's not an argument.
That sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's a bad argument. Jeffrey Epstein could have made that argument. Like, I'm just supposed to, like, oh, you give out, I'm just supposed to ban the third of my 2/3 of my supporters? Are you kidding me? I can't do that.
But no, the guy who doesn't even have a Discord, I'm gonna definitely get into trouble because of you guys doing things independently. That has nothing to do with me. If hypothetically, one person in my audience is a real and a kid, what does that have to do with me? Absolutely nothing.
Wow, bro, come the on.
God, this read logic again. I can't stand it. The sanctimonious pricks, they annoy me.
Wait,
they annoy me.
Wait. So he's aware that in the con department of his audience, there are actual getting arrested, and he's still not going to put the kibosh on that. He's not going to say, shut the up. That's a bad idea. I don't know.
Stream is 42 dislikes. What? 42? No. 42? That's a lot. Oh my god. 42? My career's over. Dude, if all 1,000 people who are watching the stream at a time unsubscribed, I would still be at 150K. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, why have I attracted so many narcissists? So many of you guys have, like, main character syndrome. If you disappeared tomorrow, it would change nothing.
That's a bad thing to say to your audience. If you tell your audience that you don't give a fuck if they stop watching, one of two things will happen. One of three things, I guess. Either A, they'll keep watching and not care, which will be like a third of them. Like, another third might actually stop watching, and then the final third will actually keep watching, but because they hate you. And then you'll be like a DSP where your audience is just like hating on you forever. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Yeah. So someone in his audience said, or in my chat said, he doesn't focus on unless it's brought up, but it's like if he freaks out and has like a target fit every single time it's brought up, and it becomes like something that is so incessant that people are now joining like a forum to shit talk him, you should probably not talk about it. At the very least, he should do like literally everything in his power to not talk about it. But yeah, that's weird. If it is brought up and you don't disavow, you're done. I mean, I think you can get away with just the libertarian stance where you're just like, I don't like it and I'm suspicious of people who are, but I don't want to ban drawing, because I think that's my stance, is that it's like, I don't want those people around me. I don't want it on my site. I don't trust people who are into it, but I'm very hesitant to say anything that how I can't in my head, I can't imagine how you would regulate it without just having like a department that looks at con and makes the determination on if it's underage or not. Like, I don't see how you could do that. And I don't want to deal with that government overreach, because we have con artist Lolcows on the thread. We have people like Shadman, and we document what Shadman does, and that's on the forum. And it's like, how do you like when the government passes a law, like with the recent revenge law, like, how do I decide what's public good or not? Because if the government decides it's not public good, then I'm criminally liable for when I think that it is of public interest, and they disagree. Well, if it's the same thing with kind of like if we're documenting Shadman and I believe that it's of public interest and they disagree, well, that's criminal liability. So I don't trust the government to regulate it at all. Kershaw loves Shad-Base's art. Oof, bad luck, bro. I feel like that's the best stance you can have. And it's like I say, it's like if you off to drawings of feet, you're a foot file. If you off to drawings of men butt each other, you're probably gay. Off to children or drawings of children, what does that mean? Oh, you just like petite women. Okay. You just like short stacks. Okay. Cope. Bad way to handle all this. I don't know anything about them, but I'm forced to pay attention to it because it's gained like hundreds of pages, and like this is, I kind of want to see what happens if I go to like page 300. This is in February, page 400. It's April, so in the last month, it has gotten 250 pages. That's really fast. I don't know. He's obviously doing something where it's not working out well for him.